Hey everyone, I'm Jared Pickard. I'm the pastor of Care at Connect City Church. I want to thank you for tuning in to 600seconds.com. Today we're going to be discussing Proverbs 25, and when I was reading through this, I was really kind of struggling with what I was going to discuss, and the verses that actually stood out to me were Proverbs 25, verses 21 and 22. And so I'm going to read through that real quick. It says, "If your enemy is hungry, give him bread to eat. And if he is thirsty, give him water to drink. For you will heap burning coals on his head, and the Lord will reward you." Sounds kind of gruesome, huh? That we would actually want to heap burning coals on someone's head. But I don't think that that's actually the motive that we're supposed to have in this. But I do find it really interesting and quite intriguing, actually, how God's kingdom is so backwards, it seems, from our natural vantage point or viewpoint. Misty Edwards, who is a worship leader at the International House of Prayer, actually has a song that has the lyrics. It says, "It's an inside, outside, upside down kingdom where you lose to gain and you die to live." And I think that gives a really good depiction of how just backwards everything is, but it's so cool how it works. The world says to take revenge on someone who wrongs you, or to one up your enemy, and it's so interesting how that's kind of our natural approach there. We really have to fight to suppress those thoughts. But Jesus, when we look at his life, he says otherwise. He talks about denying our natural responses. It says to deny your flesh, take up your cross daily, and follow me. He talks about turning the other cheek, going the extra mile. He discusses, blessing those who curse you, which doesn't make a whole lot of sense from a worldly standpoint. But if we're going to follow Christ, then that's the route we would take. In Romans 12:17-19, it says, "Repay no one evil for evil, but give thought to do what is honorable in the sight of all. If possible, so far as it depends on you, live peaceably with all. Beloved, never avenge yourselves, but leave it to the wrath of God. For it is written, vengeance is mine. I will repay, says the Lord." So like I said, our motives are not to heap coals on someone's head, but in actuality, that vengeance is the Lord's. We're called to simply react in a Christ-like manner. And so when someone wrongs you, and I'm probably preaching to, I'm speaking to myself probably more than you, but if someone wrongs you, then instead of trying to take revenge, try to go the extra mile to love that person, whatever that looks like, and God will take care of the rest. And then at the end of the verse, it's really cool how it says that the Lord will reward you. It says, "If your enemy is hungry, give him bread to eat, and if he is thirsty, give him water to drink." That's loving your enemy. That's actually caring for your enemy. "For you will heap burning coals on his head, and the Lord will reward you." God honors obedience. And in that moment, although it makes no sense whatsoever, looking at it from a natural standpoint, for all of our urges to want to pay somebody back, God rewards obedience, and to be obedient in that moment, we're to love that person, although it's not easy all the time. But when we look at Christ and we look at his depiction, even on the cross, the example that he lived from a day-to-day basis, how he treated others, how he was persecuted, and yet he still loved his enemies. He died for his enemies. That's just a very good example, and that's something that we could probably never live up to, but we should try. So anyway, I hope that helped y'all. Maybe that helped somebody with something you might be going through today. Every day we're going to probably be wrong from something, probably going to be wronged by somebody. And so every day we can get practice in trying to deny our flesh, deny those natural instincts or urges or whatever, to pay somebody back, to make somebody else feel the pain that I felt or that you may have felt as a result of something that they did to you. But in fact, we are to forgive, and Christ gives a good example. Hey, Paul. Paul's interrupting me. He didn't know I was up here, but it's okay. He's not going to tell you hey, but he's really there. Anyway, I hope y'all have a wonderful rest of the week, and I will see y'all Sunday. Peace out.